Elvis and Priscilla Presley's divorce was public, and no one could forget what happened. It was heartbreaking for fans, but the two celebrities seemed like they were in good places after the split. What really transpired between them that made them drift apart? The start of their relationship wasn't just a regular date. When she was only 14 years old, Priscilla Presley began dating the late musician Elvis Presley. She insists that their initial interactions were innocent. The two fell in love in the late 1950s during a party in Germany, where Elvis was stationed while serving in the U.S. Army. It turned out that everything was fate since Priscilla's stepfather, who was also in the Air Force, had been sent to the base there. Eventually, she became Elvis's wife and his closest companion. Despite the 10-year age difference, the two started dating. Because she was just a young girl, Priscilla was always questioned about whether or not her parents approved of her relationship with a celebrity who was 10 years her senior. Of course, like any other fan out there, they adored him. She acknowledged that his youthful good looks had attracted her. He wasn't bad looking. Everyone was enamored with him. But it appeared that only Priscilla was catching his attention at the time. The couple started spending more and more time together, with her parents' reluctant approval. Every day, he gave her a little more of himself, including his secrets, doubts, and disappointments. Even though it was a lot to expect someone her age to grasp, she listened to his ambitions to become a great actor like his heroes Marlon Brando, James Dean, and Karl Malden. Years later, Priscilla moved in with Elvis at Graceland by his request. The couple had been conversing long distance at the time Elvis left for his home country, solidifying their love. Priscilla traveled to America to be with Elvis. They were engaged right before Christmas in 1966, when she was 21 and he was almost 32. Before departing for their honeymoon in Palm Springs, they were wed in a private ceremony in Las Vegas. Lisa Marie Presley, the couple's lone child, was born by Priscilla 9 months exactly after their wedding. Elvis Presley is the love of her life, according to Priscilla Presley, but she understood at age 27 that she had to quit their marriage. Even though Priscilla had been in a relationship with the king of rock and roll for more than 10 years, she needed to experience life on her own. However, Priscilla insists that choosing to leave Elvis was the hardest choice she has ever had to make. Priscilla acknowledges that being her husband was extremely demanding despite her love for Elvis. Priscilla frequently felt quite alone as a result of the singer's refusal to allow her to pursue a profession or live on her own terms. Elvis kept expecting Priscilla to put everything else aside for him, and eventually it got to be too much. Following their divorce, she and Elvis remained incredibly close. They even began to love and understand each other more so than during their marriage. And when Priscilla found out that Elvis had died, she admits that she too didn't want to be without him. She acknowledged that in the past, she has shut herself in her bedroom and given specific instructions to stay silent and to keep to herself. To Priscilla, love is quite deceptive. Elvis was still a vital part of her life despite the fact that they were no longer married. They developed close friendships throughout the years, confessing their past transgressions and just starting to laugh at their flaws. There could be no denying their friendship. Compared to their marital existence, they were now closer and had more patience and understanding for one another. Still, their relationship was very complicated. There were a lot of things going on that led their fans to believe that it was better for them to break up. Elvis Presley was referred to as the actress's soulmate, but Priscilla Presley ultimately stood in the way of their relationship when she discovered the romance in a tragic way. Elvis Presley rose to fame as a Hollywood actor in the 1960s. He had always envisioned himself as a top-tier actor, so when offers to star in numerous films kept rolling in, he was overjoyed. The king of rock and roll's life was irrevocably altered by a film in 1963. Although he had already started acting in a plethora of musical comedies with love themes. He started production on the 1964 film Viva Las Vegas that year. He did not anticipate falling in love with Anne Margaret, his co-star, when he first joined the film. Young, promising triple threat Anne Margaret was of Swedish and American descent. The red-haired actress and Elvis hit it off right away, and soon they were unable to spend any time apart. In her autobiography, My Story, Anne Margaret writes of her passionate relationship with Elvis. She described how their connection was obvious at their first encounter, which took place on a soundstage. "We both felt a current," she said, "an electricity that went straight through us. It would become a force we couldn't control." Their relationship developed from a secret affair to a full-blown romantic obsession as it grew out of control in the scorching Nevada sun in Las Vegas. She claimed that they were soulmates who needed one another and couldn't exist without the other. She even admitted that their brokenness was similar. Elvis enjoyed going out, but Anne Margaret understood. She claimed that both of them were self-destructive in their own unique ways, and that they both lived on the brink. Despite their celebrity status and all else they've accomplished so swiftly, the two of them have remained extremely immature and emotionally reliant. Meanwhile, Priscilla remained at Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee, throughout this time. When asked about Priscilla during her passionate affair with Elvis years later, Anne Margaret responded, "She wasn't there. She didn't exist in their relationship." Things had to end for Elvis and Anne Margaret eventually. She was questioned about her relationship with Elvis during a Viva Las Vegas premiere she attended in London, England, during the film's window of release. She gave a misinterpreted response, leading to headlines claiming that she was already engaged to the king. After learning the truth, Priscilla became indignant. She shouted at Elvis and threw a vase against the wall when he told her this information. Anne Margaret said that she understood how Elvis had to fulfill his commitment. Elvis never forgot the actress, despite the fact that their relationship had to come to an end. While she was performing her Las Vegas residency, he frequently gave her flowers. Just before he passed away, he even begged her to visit him one final time. Lamar Fike, one of Elvis Presley's closest associates in the Memphis Mafia, subsequently reminisced on Anne Margaret and the strong bond she shared with the king. He even suggested that, given the choice, Elvis would have remained with Anne Margaret forever. He stated, "I believe Elvis would have wed in a New York second." However, he made it clear that he would only do so if Anne left the business. Their partnership came to an end as they pursued their dreams of conquering Vegas with a residency show. Sadly, there were too many women that Elvis had fallen in love with. Even with the serious girlfriends following Priscilla, especially Linda Thompson, he was seeing a few women behind their backs. It makes you wonder until this day, how many women caught the eye of the king of rock and roll, and how lucky were they to do so? Comment your answers down below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching.